Once there was an emperor whose name alone commanded galaxies. Callus, ruler of the Cabal Empire, bearer of the Chalice, a god in all but title. His reign was one of excess, golden wine, endless feasts, and the worship of pleasure above war. He called it the Age of Celebration, but to his loyalists it became a curse, for when the empire stopped expanding, ambition turned to rot. And in that decay, a shadow grew, the shadow of Dominus Gaul. The coup came without warning. Gaul, the ghostless one, led the Red Legion to overthrow his master. They exiled Callus to the edge of the galaxy, locking him in the Leviathan, his grand ship, set adrift to wander the stars in silence. There, surrounded by his own decadence, Callus began to listen, and what he heard was the darkness. The Leviathan drifted into the black, a place beyond time, where light and sound were devoured. There, something spoke to him, not in words, but in visions, of perfect stillness, of final shape. Callus called it the voice in the deep. He offered himself to it, not in fear, but fascination. For if Gaul's strength came from conquest, Callus's truth would come from submission. He vowed to become more than emperor. He vowed to become disciple. Years later, when the Leviathan returned to Luna's orbit, its halls were filled not with loyalists, but nightmares, shadows of guilt and hunger, echoes of the man Callus once was. To enter the Duality dungeon was to step inside his mind, a place where ego and regret battled for control. The Guardians saw his memories, his betrayal, his isolation, his desperate longing to be seen by the darkness. But within that fractured consciousness, the truth was laid bare. Callus didn't want power. He wanted meaning. As Guardians cut through the manifestations of his fears, Callus's whispers filled the void. "Witness me, as I was meant to be." The voice he once heard on the edge of space answered again, this time clearer. It promised rebirth, purpose, a place among its chosen. And in his madness, Callus accepted. He became the herald of the witness, his will entwined with the coming apocalypse. The Leviathan's gold began to rust. The feasts turned to ash, and the emperor who once demanded worship was reduced to a hollow vessel. The Guardians left Duality behind, but Callus's voice still lingers in the corridors of his ship. He laughs softly, a sound more tragic than triumphant. "All kings fall," he says, "but he will fall upward." He dreams now of the final shape, the perfect empire where no one hungers because no one lives. The witness watches its new pawn with interest.